Brace yourself, my friends, for we have a Silver Kayn versus a Silver Maokai in a game of extremes and extreme learning. So pay attention. Kayn obviously just received some shifts, some buffs, something to make the Shadow Assassin more assassiny. Now, obviously, Ross has been enjoying himself, but most people don't want to play Ross. I don't know why. They would prefer to play the E-Boy Shadow Assassin, but it does allow you more carry potential. If someone said, Virkayu, you need to climb as fast as possible, I just go play Shadow Assassin, and that's probably the truth, because you can do so much with this champion. So how do we get from silver to gold in a meta that has a lot of CC, which isn't that kind on assassins? Let's find out, and obviously we'll look at the pros and cons of all of this. We are starting on that Raptor pit. We're going down to the red here. We are not doing the best clear overall. You'll see the E in a second. I fumbled my intro and had to do it about 3 or 4 times. You are struggling to get out of silver into that gold elo. You watch these videos, you understand it, but you cannot apply it to your own jungling. Head to virkayu.gg and have a look at these silver cores. Should be released in the upcoming weeks. Make sure you get your pre-order discount now. Otherwise, have a look at the one-on-one coaching options to condense 100 hours of watch time on YouTube into a single session tailored for your specific needs. Virkayu.gg has everything you need to get out of low elo into gold and beyond. The Maokai started on the blue. We can see that. Gets the leash. Look at this. Wasting time. We hate this. We hate it. Don't want to do that. So obviously, as always, if you're bronze and silver, please, you go watch Charisma, you go watch the rank 1 Kayns in your server, you study them, you copy their clears, and you get it down fluidly. I coach a Kayn, a long-term Kayn. He has now increased his MMR. We are basically 700, 800 OP up from where we started, and it's long-term coaching, and his clear has never been an issue. He came to me with a perfect clear. He came to me with a red, Krugs, Raptors, Wolves, Dragon, Q the Wolves with a blue, into the Grom, 315, powerhouse clear. He still has that, and from there we could do so many cool things, which is why he's improved. So please, put in the time and practice till it's worth it. You don't have to do it instead of playing. Just before you play, do 3 clears. Copy the best clears you can do. The Raptors, red, Krugs going up. Again, guys, you're not surprising anybody. Hey, I went leashless. Where did I begin? You're a Kayn. You started Raptors. We don't need to think. We know you started Raptors. So basically, you're just losing any elements of surprise. You might as well get a better leash. Go to the Krugs, go to the Raptors, and get a faster 315 clear. Now, we are against the Maokai. How are we going to get into this game, scale, and become the righteous carry we want to be? Let's find out. Now, basically, from the Maokai's perspective here, he's decided as well, Low Elo Gaming's, hey, wait. Just gang. Don't, whatever. So basically, what I don't like here is the Maokai is trying to copy the Kayn, and both of them have these abysmally slow clears. Who's going to win now on the top side scuttle? You know, the Urgot has Prio. Maokai is coming down with CC. Victor does have Prio, but who will rotate? It's basically a question of top versus jungle duos. He's half HP coming into the field versus another just over half HP Kayn. Now that Yasuo goes into the wave, dashy, Vignashi. The Maokai gets distracted. The Kayn isn't doing the scuttle. Horrific early game planning from both junglers. What are you going to try and do as Maokai here? Start playing solo Raptor start if you want. That's a bit of a question. Have someone fake leash. Just ask them, hey guys, can you delay showing, please? That's a viable strategy. Otherwise, just get a damn leaf, do the red side quadrant, cut down, and gank bottom lane. There you go. You've protected yourself from Kayn invading because you know Kayn's starting on the bottom side. You can fall back to your blue side. You know Kayn's sequencing to the top side. If you optimize your clear, what's he going to do? Because he's coming out of the jungle. It's 4 minutes. No one's taken a scuttle. No one's ganked. No one's taken a scuttle at 4 minutes. Tempo control, my friends. It's all about the first clear tempo control. Now, so let's revisit this. Is it worth actually sticking it out here and taking the scuttle crab? I would like to get it, yes. I think the value is profound. However, at the same time, you know, the Maokai should be here. We should be faster out. I like the fact that we're dragging this. If you can't take this top scuttle, please just go bottom side. Please just go bottom side. Like right now, I understand what we're doing. I understand we're forcing this 2v2. The Yasuo is getting baited in by our hesitation to base and kind of carry on. We are now going to lose this because he has phase rush flash, so he's going to get out of here. We do have E available. We're not using it. We're sticking in the fight. We're going to try to get the orbs, get to kill the auto attack. We are no longer afraid. We flash for the E to get the healing. Victor rotates, and we get 2 assists for the death. Is it worth it in your opinion? What do you guys think? You think this is worth it? For me, it's 439. I don't want to take this. This is a too high-risk play, right? Yes, we get the orbs. Yes, we're part of the life. Yes, we're stacking our stashing. But the point is, if you have to give this up, give it up. Just make sure you get this one. You can counter jungle here. You know the 420 grub is going to spawn. If Maokai wants to be slow and walk around here a long time, you can do so much damage to these junglers who are not ganking appropriately. And that's the thing about Kayns. That's the thing about anything that farms fast. Tell you, even yesterday, I did this, did a full clear down, For some reason, the enemy jungler decided to do a red side quadrant gank top lane, leaving his bottom side open. He was slow on his red side quadrant, so what did I do? I took this, I took this, I took this, I took this, I ganked bottom lane, and now you go back to base, and you just go straight for the Gromp, because you know that this guy's like, well, there's nothing else for me to do, I might as well try counter jungle him, and he can't because you push him out. So you've taken over the game, right? So from a Kayn's perspective, that's the kind of impact you want when a Maokai isn't using his ganking tempo advantage. Don't try and match him on it. Now, what I do like is this. We are going from the Raptors, looking to the bottom lane. We're missing our spells. We're taking a tower shot. We are getting the kills. We get the kill from the Morgana, or on the Morgana. Be careful of the roots. Know the Maokai is coming. Detach. Be smart. Don't go back into your jungle, obviously. Just be intelligent about the tower dives in that situation. Here's the Maokai. Obviously, we know at this particular point, dude did a full clear, took the crab. He's going to reset after his death and come to the bottom side. So we know the Maokai is on his way. Now, if you're a silver jungler, please adhere to this following piece of advices. Firstly, just leave. Don't stay and die for no reason whatsoever. It's not worth anything. It's not worth the assist. Every death you have plays into the Maokai's hand because you're not scaling with your CS. You're not getting 6 ASAP. So, if you're the Maokai, and you see this bottom lane pushing, and you die here with the Kayn, you both die. Out of base, straight for the gank. Outside in rule, the gank is primed, take it. You can then fall back to this. Well, blue wouldn't be up, so this, and this. And then carry in sequencing, or you can cut back down and gank mid lane. Then you can go up and straight and gank top lane again, and then you can do your Krugs Raptors reset, go straight down to the bottom lane again, and take the dragon. So Maokai has a nice little plan developing here. The Kayn should be thinking about the game like this as well. The fact that you're a farming jungler doesn't change the fact that you can still gank 6 times, you can still take the objectives, and you can have control over sequencing and denying the enemy jungler, which are things we are not currently doing in this game, which is fine. We will improve, we will learn, we will thrive. The Wall of Destiny causes us to flash, the electric you proc from the bird gets triggered, and we miss the cannon minion, unfortunate. So the Kayn here in this particular case, after the death top lane, too much waffling, too much wasting time. I'd much rather take it, recognize he's going for the gank. Now, if you basically do the calculations, we rewind in our minds, we don't win 2v2. Even if I get an assist, is it worth the orbs? Yeah, but you could also get orbs somewhere else. We also kind of are thinking here in this particular game, you know, are we going Shadow Assassin? Are we going Ross? I think because Maokai is going to be building Squishy, yes, he has CC, but I always feel like as a Shadow Assassin, if you're a good player, you will find the entry points, you will find the flank, you will know how to survive, you will cause that suction effect, right? You E into the back line, you E into the team comp, they all go, Shadow Assassin, and they coalesce and focus on you hardcore. You have your ult to go deep within, and then you can extricate yourself and reposition with Qs and Es afterwards. They're not going to stack their CC properly. Sometimes you will die, yes, but if you can get 3 kills from that, if you're that fed, it's always good, and your team should be able to play off of that nicely. Now, I am still more on the if you're low elo, go the Dark Harvest route. I understand the First Strike Gaming, obviously the interaction that they removed was kind of sad, but I do think that the Dark Harvest Gaming is a good way to go. Just when you're kind of in silver trying to get to gold, the scaling component is nice. You know you're going to be more active than in other elos, but I do like this little gank here. It's unfortunate we don't get the kill, but you know we died here after that 2v2 calculation. Instead of going down and taking the scuttle and counter jungling and ganking bottom lane and then going back to this, what we did do was leave base, take the Raptors, and gank bottom lane, which is great. And the Maokai, being silver as well, didn't do the outsider rule, so we got that advantage. But we didn't leverage that advantage to further gain because we just died under our tower. So I want you to try and reconcile these things if you're in low elo. I know it's a lot. I know it's fast. I know we're thinking about imaginary pathing techniques, but I think it's so huge for a low elo jungler to think like this. Because when you do, you're already way further ahead of the enemy jungler. Because they're not thinking about these things. They're just going wherever they want, right? I like that we left the base, Wolves did the Gromp and ganked the top lane. I mean, it's a great way to just cut the map in half for a second, quadrant clear and gank the top side. Now we can fall back down to the bottom side. We have here the Karma and the bottom lane doing this. We are looking for a gank on the Anivia. Remember, yes, we have ultimate, but at the same time, it's Anivia. She has her egg. You can tell because of the wings on the HP bar there. So we know that she has egg. There's no point in ulting her unless it's going to get the kill. We have an RNG Scuttle on the bottom side. I don't like that we've telegraphed our exact positioning. I know we're waiting here. 662 is not worth going back to base. You know, I know we have Shadow Assassin. Actually, yeah, okay. We have Shadow Assassin, so that's fine, never mind. Unfortunately, the good orbs on the Urgot did some nice work as well as the bottom lane there, so we actually get our Shadow Assassin, which is great. Nice early transform, so the orbs do come back to help us. Normally, though, if you're not form, I would go Raptors, red, Krugs, and try something bottom lane. If your ADC's basing, your bottom lane of basing, we're not going to get this. Are we actually going to go ahead and try and steal this? I meant beforehand, you know, but now, I mean, if we're here and we can steal and get out, that's fine. Boom! Okay, terrible smites, but can we leave? That's what we're worried about. I don't like dying for the steal. If you can get the steal and get out, you can results-based it and be like, worth. If we're going coaching, pure coaching advice, if our ADC is base, and we don't have the numbers, we're not fighting for this. Therefore, I'm just going to make sure I can get 3 camps for the price of him doing 1 camp. Yes, it's a dragon, but it's fine. I can also then leverage and use my ultimate in the bottom side. The fact that we go for the steal and we die, the 3 deaths are so unnecessary. I don't like that we're dying this much. I know we're not getting the kills, but I don't like that we're dying this much. It's not very good, actually. It's a great cause of concern for me for the future of this game because we only have 2 more CS than a Maokai who has 1 more KP. Yes, we got the objective, but, you know, the Maokai shouldn't have been doing without smite, or you shouldn't miss smite at the very least. So keep that in mind when you go for steals. If you don't have form, boom, boom, boom. Now we can go back to base. If you need a few more orbs, gank bottom lane, get the amount of orbs you need for the form, and then, of course, you can go topside now. Because the Herald will be topside, right? We've taken the dragon. Well, they've taken the dragon. Now we can just come topside, take the blue side, and get the Herald. So that's all nice and good. Overall, though, not so bad. You know, definitely rough around the edges. We have made some good plays. I think the first rotation thing really bugged me. I know people just want to fight it out and get the orbs, but I would much rather take like 6 camps for it. You know, the gank we did here, I really liked. I like the angle of approach, the flank. We overcommit here on our spells when we don't know he has flash, but fortunately we have R and we can keep going. So that is good, right? The Maokai is not going to counter gank. Don't flash into it. We most likely are going to be a little bit doomed here unless we can reposition. Ears up, ears up, ears up. We need to try to we can get to the wall here. See, what I kind of like to do in these situations is I actually try and sneak something away. If I see a scenario where it's like, well, I can't help anymore, but they're busy and distracted, let me take the Krugs. I have smite, I'll get some healing, I can queue over the wall here at the backside, and I can get out. Something, right? And I can always push this out as well, and then detach to this and this, and if I'm fed enough, and I don't need to base, and they try and do this, you can always collapse, especially if they win this scenario. So I'm always thinking about, hey, what can I take that mitigates my loss? Right? It's the same thing. You're just cutting your losses sometimes. If you basically die, or go back in here and die, or, you know, just run away and get nothing, you're not mitigating your losses in this particular scenario. So, as I was saying, great angle of approach both times on the top lane. I like that. We went all in with our WQ here, which means we kind of wasted those spells. Good flash by the Ogre, but we used our ult to get back in. We knew the damage profile of the Yasuo. We knew our damage profile, and we were able to snack that kill. So that was good. Would have been a bit more hesitant on the upfront load of my spells, just to kind of bait out the flash, so that I can basically use my W, my Blade's Reach, to slow him thereafter, thus making that a bit safer. And obviously, if you do that, the Maokai rotates, the Anivia rotates. Instead of getting the kill here, maybe we can get it here, you know what I mean? So it gives you a bit more room to kind of detach and fall back, but yeah. Otherwise, that was solid, and overall, I'm okay with the general approach we have, because we have 100% KP. So all of this is constructive criticism. I'm getting animated because I see Play-Doh, and I think we can mold this guy into something not, you know, not so bad. Pretty good, as it were. Let's see if I would probably just snack. Our team actually does the work. So when your team does the work and you're doing this, it's great. So I don't like that we were immediately thinking, hey, let's run away. Typical low elo thing, though. You guys think, okay, look, I'm done, let me leave. Higher elo people will know, okay, let me create spacing, wait for CDRs, observe the situation. If I can go back in and get kills and assists, I will. Otherwise, what can I take and then leave so that I survive at the very least to mitigate our losses? Yasuo and Victor do super good stuff. We are definitely impacting these lanes in a positive way. We are not getting the kills, though. Again, that's why the 3 deaths suck, because it kind of just takes you off the map, loses you a little bit of that control, and that just doesn't feel good. But we're in a pretty good scenario. So, we are the Shadow Assassin. What I would be doing here is basically saying, look, I really need this sucker right now. I'm not getting the kills, I need the gold. We got 1.1 plate here, and we have 4 plates here. We have basically 5 plates there. So we have somewhere we can use our Herald and get the cash money gold. Bottom lane is pushing here. Obviously, the Xayah in the meantime is pulled herself off. You could look to just straight up rotate here, but again, like your ADC 0-1-1, the Xayah is 3-0-1. That is a giga losing lane. So from a ganking perspective, hey, when do I gank a losing lane? When you know you can defeat them easily. So I would only go to this lane with that kind of Xayah as well when she's fed. I would only go there if I know she has no sums, I know she has no ultimate, I'm using my F keys and information gathering the whole game to get that information, and I'm something that can just straight up kill her without a care in the world. Can a 037 Shadow Assassin Kayn with that one itemization choice for completion do so? Maybe if you're good. Maybe if you're good at the champion. Would I say categorically that this particular Shadow Assassin player can do so? Probably not. Do I like the Moby's Brutal Rush? No, I do not. I think this is a silly choice, and obviously we want to be stacking our Mana Moon as well. I do think we needed to have the tier, we needed to have our Ionian Brutal Lucidity. I like the Dark Harvest because you can go in Genius Hunter. We have gone for Triumph and Coup de Grace as well. Like this itemization, this rune set, these choices are implicating him in this game right now. And in my silver course that I'm going to be releasing hopefully next week on the Virkayu GG, the silver course, how to get gold, 2 hours, 3 hours of like breakdown core concepts for silver. I'm going to make an itemization, just 10 minutes talking about itemization because I need to talk about it with you guys. You're trying to reinvent the wheel is round. Stop trying square wheels. It doesn't fucking work. You know, the builds that exist are the builds that exist. And yes, you can iterate and quarterate and things like that, but you know, until you know the game and the champion at such a level that you can really start to do those things, just try and go with what works as a baseline and stop experimenting every game. Because every game, instead of focusing on a consistent champion with a consistent game plan, you're basically adding in all these variables and itemization and rune sets that compromises your ability to actually get proper feedback on your jungling and on your champion knowledge. Because if you go down if you're in the situation in one game, you go down here with a Duskblade and a tier, you're like, okay. And if another game you go down with a Prowler's Claw and no tier, another game you go down with the Ionian versus Moby's, every game is something new, a new experience, and you're not getting any real data feedback. So it's better to have more consistent, well-known, viable builds, follow your rank 1 Kayns, use what they're using, experiment with what they're using, decide which works best with your particular Kayn, which feels the best, and then, of course, just spam it, spam it, spam it, spam it. And when you become great at Kayn, great at jungle, then you can start to sort of create your own builds and things like that. But slotting in builds for no reason, just to be different, no, right? No, it's focus on jungling and the champion. Don't make the itemization a third variable. Now you're learning, you have the stress of the environment, you have stress of learning the champion, you have stress of learning the itemization. It's too many things, and it just prolongs your ability to climb to gold, okay? So basically here what I was saying is I would not like to go and gank this Xayah, who's obviously going to be pulling up and going back to base. My Jin's at base anyway. I'd rather just go Wolves Grump into the Herald, or Herald into the Grump and the Wolves. I do think it would have been better just to do Wolves Grump into the Herald because in this case, I'm not seeing a tendency from this Maokai to have good pathing particularly. He's just kind of wandering around. We're not even talking about him. He's farming a little bit. He's showing up here and there, but he's not doing too much. We also have huge prio mid and top because they're playing well. So what we could have done is just taken the camps here, snacked this baby, moved into this position, and if we'd done that, if we just go back in time here a little bit, what would we have gained? Of course, this is now the results, right? But this is always how we have to think about things, because what is my decision to go topside and why? Would like Wolves Grump and then the Herald to snowball the mid lane. Yasuo's basing, so I don't really want to go for the Herald blind here because I could be rotated on, so I can spend that time of him basing and going top lane, taking the Wolves and taking the Grump. When he's back in top lane with his huge itemization completion, then I can go to the Herald knowing I have that prio and that gold advantage on my side. What would happen otherwise? Afterwards, we can do this and maybe even go counter jungling in these scenarios. Now, fortunately for us, we know that this is available and we should have taken it. So we know this would be down after the Herald. But is this available? Can we dive the Anivia? Does she have no egg? Can we then just drop the Herald and shove this down with the Victor? Yes. Because the Maokai ends up showing up here. So we know right now, as we see the Maokai here, for some reason he's here as his bottom lane is basing as well, right? There's no point in doing this. Obviously he sees the Kayn, but like, there's no point because your bottom lane's basing, right? You're wasting time, you could just be on the Grump. So both junglers wasting time pathing to the wrong sides of the map. For Kayn, that's huge because we would have had a free Wolf, free Grump, free Herald, free dive in the mid lane, or just free dive in the top lane, get that kill, move to the mid lane, and use the Herald for the Cash Money infusion. Because we are getting close to 14, right? So it's not like we can really play around with it too much. But the Raptor Camp does spawn, right? So we could have done it and then done all of these things and stolen the Raptors and then stolen the Krugs again. Because it would have been 2 minutes 15 by the time we're finished with all of these activities. So now we're going to do this. We're going to get E'd because we're just running at the Anivia, face value. and getting completely stunned. Now the Karma's rotating. We're getting rooted here from the Maokai. You see, the benefit of this kind of stuff is, hey, this decision makes sense. If Maokai shows, he dies. If Maokai's bottom line, I get all of the top side stuff and I don't get the counter gank. But because I went bottom lane unnecessarily and took camps unnecessarily, now I die, right? So obviously, again, we can say, look, well, you're looking at this now. I'm like, no, I'm telling you my decisions before it happened. That's why I think we should do those things. And if randomness happens, as always, what does that mean? He's doing something you didn't expect. What is then available that I can snack? Worst case is obviously don't die in the randomness. Process the randomness, embrace the randomness, study the randomness. There you go. Randomness, I'm going to say it too many times, it's not even going to be a word anymore. Randomness. So I start saying the long words too quickly. And now because of this death again, we're losing this dragon. We should not steal it. If it's gone, my friends. We don't even have mid prior right now. Anivia's rotating down. Did we see the wings or not? I mean, you got to track the wings as well. We're going into the back of the pit here. This is silly because Anivia's going to rotate. We've got Maokai basically up. She has no wings, fortunately, but she's level 10. We're coin flipping this on a 4v3. Victor has to come from the top side. Now we're on the bottom side. We're rushing into a whole team with CC. We're using a suction effect, as I said. We're repositioning, but we don't have the damage to do anything. The wall is keeping us close. The Graviton field stuns the Anivia. Our bottom lane is kiting out the Maokai. But the whole time this was doomed because they had 4 in the middle. We had 1 on the top and 3 on the bottom. Our entire team fighting positioning is compromised. If we have to give this up, we give it up. Give it up. Go boom, boom. Hey, I have the Herald. Maybe I can just use it on the plates. Or, hey, look, it's so late. I should have just gone straight here and used it on the plates anyway, which was force the Anivia to stay, create some mid lane prior, and then we can 4v3 them in the reverse. But because we go straight for it, all right, boom. Now we're using the Herald right here, but it's too late. It's useless. It's useless. It's absolutely useless. This death here costs us all those plate golds. Because we didn't... It's a knock-on effect, right? Instead of just doing these things into this, with the Maokai being bottom lane for no reason, and actually getting it off, we do it bottom lane, go top lane, Spaghetti Pathing, he shows up knowing what we're doing, and counter ganks us, we die, we lose the possibility of doing anything. You know? It's not so good. Now we activate the Herald, and again, we're just running at a Maokai and Nivea as the Shadow Assassin. What should we be doing as a Shadow Assassin? She has wings now, guys. Just a little tear of pain. Actually, I could dust in my eye. Yeah. So, 057. Build is shit. Atomization is not good. Pathing is now going out of the window a little bit. And now we're not team fighting appropriately at all. We are just running at the faces of people who can CC us and pull kills out of us. This guy's now taking the Krugs that we should have taken a long time ago. This should be like level 9, level 10 Krugs on repeat. Yeah, it's costing us. It's costing us dearly. We're down a level on the Maokai now. And we haven't farmed in ages. What did we do? We did Raptors, Krugs, we were bottom lane, went up to do the Herald. We went mid lane and died. Then we went and used the Herald and loitered around the dragon. And then died. Right? Your death is costing you. But it's not the death that worries me, it's the decision that leads to the death. A good decision can lead to death as well. Mechanics, they make a good play, all of these things happen. But if we're just rushing, look at this. Yasuo's out of position. And I see this too much as well. Okay, here we go. Should be able to get a kill here, that's nice, but the whole team's going to be rotating, so we need to make sure we can escape. Don't stay, we get hit unfortunately. Don't go back in, unfortunately. So basically what happens is here is, yes, Yasuo is fed, but we are not. If we're juicy fed as we should be, this is a 2v2 I'm comfortable taking because we'll kill them before anyone shows up and then we'll kill them as well. That's the whole point of being at the game in 16 minutes. That's the whole point of being in this particular scenario. But if you can get a kill here and get out, do so. But if you're going to get a kill here and there's 4 people rotating and everyone's like, well, you know, my team are doing silly things, I should also do the silly things. No. Sometimes it's better just to not do the silly thing. Better to live, get some farm. Right, 1, 6, and 7. Alright, let's speedrun this. Now we do red into Krugs. Victor splitting in the bottom lane. There's an RNG scuttle. We loop around. We clear this ward. We take this one. Maokai shows up. We get this. That's nice. Our bottom lane's resetting, so we can't do anything. We see the Maokai going to the top side. Which means he's collapsing onto the Yasuo, which is pretty damn obvious. And if he's also rotating, can we shadow this and potentially counter gank it? I don't know. He hits the Q just to make sure that we get the disengage. We finish finally our Gust Walker hatchling. I think in this particular game, it would have been way better to go Moss Stomper. Go Moss Stomper in this game. If you're going to go blue Kayn and try and 1v9, go Moss Stomper. But again, I might be looking at more of a Rosty build just for survivability. But I do think we can play this game with Shadow Assassin. But you have to flank from the sides. You can't run at them from the front, yeah? That was a nice little mid-game phase. See, we got some farming going. Now we're up a level. See, that was nice. We calmed down. Now we're pushing the top side here with no pressure in the bottom lane. So Victor's pulling back. He's going to be basing. Mid lane doesn't really have any sort of push pressure. We have the TB committed by the Anivia to the mid lane. Maokai's not going to show up. We're activating this for no particular reason with no wave. The Maokai's going in on us. We Q in towards the Maokai. Now we ult. He gets phase rush. Now we're deep within the base. We have to flash E again. Oh my goodness. Terrible second herald. No wave. Leave this guy alone. He's fed. Go mid lane with your team. Anivia's TPing. Pushes. Activate the herald so you can knock it out. You're going to need it. Shove up while they send multiple to deal with the Yasuo. Victor will then get pressure here. We can then kite down and take all of these camps, clear it all up, help kill this with the Victor, push this up, fall back to the dragon. Loop back around for red side, back to base. You follow. Replay that if you don't, because it's very important that you understand that kind of mid-game flow. At the same time, it's very important that you understand, hey, I can't just queue into a team with this amount of CC. You will die many times. And I've seen the final KDA, so. If you're a Shadow Assassin player and you want gold, it can be done. Is it harder? Yes. But is it fun? Yes. Does his balance state mean anything in silver? No. Kayn is a 1v9 champion, it doesn't matter the balance state. Could we have rotated up here, potentially done something? You know what? Yes, but we started this entire fight, so the fact that we ditch it is kind of beautiful. The Victor shows up with a TP and kills the victim of society. And then the Jhin and I, it's not even me. The Jhin and the Kayn move down to the bottom side. We snack this dragon. I'm getting really invested in the Kayn. Put yourselves in the Kayn. Everything is now I. We. Yes, this is us. That's how you learn, actually. Put yourself in that position. What would I do in this situation? What would I do in this situation? Why did he not do that, or why did he do something different? Or did he do something different that works, and you go, oh, maybe I should have done that. Jungle is not one sort of thing, guys. It's not one sort of result. Too many coaches are like, this jungler coach said this, and it's wrong. No, it's not wrong. It's just different. There are subtleties in jungle that you can have 3 decisions, all 3 can be correct. Depending how they play out, obviously. Benefit of hindsight, obviously, but in jungle, we don't really always have the luxury. We only can make decisions based on what we know. Like, can we get out? Yes. Maokai, why are you doing that without smite? You are. Why didn't you just damn well smite it? Did he not have smite, or what's going on with his brain? Is he lagging IRL, or what's going on here? 6. Is he pinging? Oh, yeah, he doesn't have it. Stop attacking it. Ping it. Ping your smite. Stop attacking it. I think he maybe tried. He has depression now. Good steal. See, now everyone's like, well, that was a good steal, right? Well, that was a good steal. Doesn't mean the other ones were good attempts. If we have to rely on 3 possible steals for 3 dragons, I think we're messing up somewhere, you know what I mean? Like, if they're doing dragons and we have to keep trying to yeet them, we're messing up. We're dying too much. We're not in the right position. Obviously, this build is also absolutely tragic. This was just nerfed. Don't go this item. Oh, I mean, it's fine, but, like, it's not going to disable the sapling. This is not good either. You need Prowler's Claw. You need Prowler's Claw 100% to get into the backline of this team. You need Prowler's Claw to stick to their team. They have a lot of disengage of speed and CC. Why are we going up here anyway when we have no prio in any lane? A little bit too adventurous, 5me. So without a doubt, an interesting game nonetheless with that macro and all this discussion and flanking and things like this. But the builds kill me, man. Like the Ionian, the Mana Moon, the Prowler's Claw. We slap in an Edge of Night, I think, in this particular game would be pretty good, better than the Ghostblade, potentially. You get yourself a Cyrilda's Grudge. You get yourself, I mean, you could justify more of my Mortiers this game, straight up, just because. Otherwise, a regular GA, you know? Phase Rush, heal, ult misses. Oh, knocked back. We get the Death W. See, now the point is, we want to reach this particular stage with that W, one-shots the Xayah and the Maokai, even if we die. So that's a 2-for-1 special, that's fine. That death is good. We also could have used the Prowler's Claw onto the Xayah to make sure she dies first, reposition outside of the Maokai's Q, and then kill the Maokai backwards. There's a cool mechanical plays we can use with Q, W, E, R, and Prowler's Claw, otherwise known as your abilities and itemization. You don't go the right itemization, you're kind of screwed. Also Ionian for cooldown. Also Mana Moon for damage. Yeah? Okay. So, trash build affects your output hugely. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. Caption that again, alright? We're just going with a straight up Prowler's Claw, Mana Moon, Ghostblade, or Edge of Night. Normally Ghostblade is fine for smurfing. I feel like just Edge of Night gives you, as a silver player, some utility here against this, so you have a bit of forgiveness in your mistakes and your positioning with that spell shield as well as the HP. That's also kind of important. Lethality is always good as well. And then of course your armor penetration, your slows, and your GA. Don't really, I think we need a GA, you know what I mean? But I like the GA in low elo, even on Shadow Assassin, just because you will make mistakes. And the Edge of Night and the GA allow you to do copious amounts of 1v9 damage, but also give you a few forgiveness moments when you miss position, so you can learn from them but still not lose the game. You know what I mean? So that's the logic behind that. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, you can just straight up go for more Mortis. If you think the Hex Drinker and the Shield are going to work. In this case, if I was going Ghostblade, I might do that. Yeah, I might just do that. Then, of course, you lose a bit of the GA aspect, so really pick and choose that kind of itemization, right? But we're not compromising core itemization. The adaptive itemization is one thing. So right here, if Kayn sees an ADC and their support disengaged from their team, all right? That means we should go for the kill here. That means we should just be going, like, look, the Maokai is coming down this side. Like, this should just be dead bottom lane. Just straight up wipe them, alt reposition, and then see ya, right? Catch the wave, push the wave, kite down, join this guy, push, 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 push. They have to reset and deal with it. You disengage here, you take all of his stuff, you take all of his stuff. You're living in their jungle the whole time, just swooping side to side, flanking, picking up. Numbers advantage is always on my side. Like State Farm. Maybe they'll sponsor me now. Maybe I'll get any sponsor. Other than myself. See, like, why? The tick damage. You know, like, we didn't make the trigger pull. We were too afraid because we're not further enough ahead. We've Moby Boots for some strange-ass reason. The Umbral Glyph just got nerfed and is useless. I don't like the build. It's really hurting you, but you're so far behind that this death is giving them a Baron. Now, we move forward in time. They have a Baron. See what happens here. Push this up. CSing is now going up. We can, of course, take to here. Is my team good? Is my team fed? All right, we'll fight this. Palma was dead. She's in base. We have numbers advantage. We can coalesce nicely. Otherwise, there's no. Is my team useless? All right, boom, 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 boom. Shove. Force, leave, shove. Force, leave, shove. Force, leave. You're Kayn. Keep the waves pushed up yourself. They can never end that way. When your team eventually is strong enough, GG. You know what I mean? So, obviously, Karma's out of position here. The Maokai ult's coming. We do get the kill on the Zaya. That's very, very nice, but we can chain CC again because we keep going in with Maokai ults. We're not patient enough without flanking. Be more patient. Don't want to be the one who dies. Even if your team works and gets the kills, that's not going to be every game. Most games, it's not going to happen in this elo. You need to make sure you are the one that's alive to be able to do these fights. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Jhin hits the spells. Right. Yeah, and we're dead, so. Like Cleaver. This is like the Silver War coaching I made at the beginning of the channel. Miss a W, miss a Q, run at them, miss everything. Look. Before you get high and mighty in the comments, you all look like this at some point or another. I look like this at some point or another. I still look like this. Challenger players still look like this. We always have these moments. There's always a moment or two like this. The problem is when you're having 10 of those moments in one game, in 28 minutes, it ain't so good, no. Alright, now we have a TP flank from the Yasuo. Their team comp is horrible. I honestly, you could even just justify straight up. Maybe I'm griefing a little bit with the Ionian and thinking of it from a high elo perspective, like, hey, I'm smurfing and silver, I'm going Ionian, ha 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 ha. Maybe you should have just got Merc Treads, honestly. You could justify the Merc Treads here, even on Blue Kayn, just to ensure you survive. But the flanking angles and the damage is there again. The whole point is to make sure we have everything. We try and greed for the kill in the Nivea in turn. You know, if you don't have the damage as the Shadow Assassin to actually straight up get kills, you're just not doing damage, and your build is probably like, oh my goodness. No, there's no synergy. It's just randomly picking things that might work in isolation. You got to think of your build as a one. You know, you've got your core builds that work together, and you've got the adaptive itemization that amplifies a core build and also gives you mitigation of weakness or amplification of snowball or conditional survivability. You know what I mean? Like, that's what this itemization slot does. When you get your core itemization, that's what we need to make sure is set in stone so we can learn and play around it. Yes, it's mythic itemization versatility, And I understand the decision, but sometimes just some mythics are better than others. End of story. All right. Now, once more, we are losing the macro game here, 30 minutes in. We'll try and speed this up because I want to see what happens, or if we just keep doing the same thing. We obviously like damage. We're swooping a little bit here. The Zaya's out of position. See, we should be living in their walls, right? I want to find her and kill her. You want to find her and kill her. You just eat through walls, you kill, good night. Push a wave, force a rotation. Basically, if you don't Flame Horizon every game with Shadow Assassin, think of it like this. You're missing counter jungling and you're missing wave push in the mid and the late game. End of story. So what happens here is Zaya deals with this, rotates to her team, then we decide to split and catch this and show. Now they say, oh right, 5v4, we'll go in. It's the reverse. You want to do this, force Zaya to rotate, and then cut in, and you make this play. It doesn't make sense for the defensive player, although it is a smart decision. She pushes it out a little bit, realizes fog of war, no point pushing beyond because I'll die to the Shadow Assassin. A normal Shadow Assassin, not Black Cleaver, Duskblade, Moby's Shadow Assassin, and then moves to the mid lane to join her team as a good ADC would. And he's like, the wave is pushed, I must deal with it. No, the wave's not pushed to your tower, you can leave this. Now we're fighting. But because he does that, obviously, their team comes obviously a bit nutty in a 5v5 sense. That's why I'm talking so much about splitting and getting that sort of impact. And here we go. Shadow Assassin flankings, let's see what we do here. Go for the Karma, she flashes it. We have to flash out. That's pretty tragic, actually. We were just late to it. And I know ironically might have been better just to take inhib. It might have just been better just to go, oh well, I'll keep this pressure up. Not joking, I would probably have done that. I know in Rengar I definitely would have done that because my Q would just done. I would have done it on Mundo. You're not Mundo in his current form. Balanced team, buff Mundo, good grief, you gutted him for no reason. Jesus, like please, bring him back. Like you reworked him and then gutted him. I want to play my jungler, man. But yes, with the E, you could take the towers here very, very easily as well. With your head. Now we're repositioning. Okay, let's have a look here. Let's see if we can get anything going. We're just going to die. Like he's just... Even when he flanks and then goes to the front. It's like those people on bicycles when they're on bicycles. How to ride a bike. They're older. They're going down the path and there's just a tree or a trash can and they just keep riding towards it. So you put them this direction and then just go to the trash can as well. This Kayn flanks. It's like, yes, the back line. Never mind the front. Yes, the back line. Never mind the front. He can't stop himself. He can't help himself. So I think this is going to be a long-ass game with the same thing over and over and over again. So we'll just jump forward a little bit. 11 deaths. 13 deaths. 16 deaths. And another Baron. We haven't. He's learned. He's finally learned. He's like, you know what? Fuck these team fights. I'm out. I'm just taking inhibs. Hey, you should have done that 20 minutes ago. Would have won the game. The Nivea shows up here. Of course, he's not able to even get that inhib because he goes back to base with the Baron. Now, teams like, thank goodness, actually, the Nivea rotation is huge because we can win without the Nivea. Champion's really a bit of a blocking champion. We're gonna flank back in. She knows it's what you're gonna do. Like he goes for it. He gets it. Will he be stunned? He dodges it. He's a savant. Zaya rotates it. Look at this. Do you need to send two people to deal with the Kayn? No, you don't. But do they? Yes. So your split push can always work. The team also died. Okay. There we go. 360. See, now he's pushing. Now he gets it. There we go. Very good. He's realized that team fighting is doomed after 16 deaths. No, don't think. You split push. You split push. We got one hit down on the top side. That's good. Elder Dragon's coming up. But we should probably set up for that and make sure we're full build. What are we going? A Serpent? I mean, yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, it works this game. Actually, good dynamic atomization. I'm just confused as to the order of events. I don't understand the build as a whole. It gives me a little bit of a brain aneurysm. Look at this. But the worst thing you can do, guys. Elder Dragon's coming up. Don't go face check. Just go around the long side. You know, there's no point doing these things. Go this way. So in coaching, we typically laugh about this. I'm kind of doing the dramatic reactions just for YouTube. But in coaching, we would just have a bit of a laugh about this, and we go, well, you know, there's no real coaching moment other than when is Dragon spawning? 45 seconds. Okay, then don't position yourself where you can die, right? You're looking for flanks and wards. You're not looking to just run in. So don't blind check bushes here. Like, don't be the one to do this. Your tank should do this, or your team, okay? So dramatic, reactions aside, coaching-wise, never walk into a blind bush, late game with a dragon up, have someone warded, path intelligently, never use your E, man. You get this huge E range, right? So there's no point just walking straight to a bush. You have E up. We can probe really easily. That's also why Shadow Assassin is better with a blue trinket, because you can look to see where people are, so you can actually get a better angle. You put the blue trinket here, or in the pixel bush here, right? Then you can use that for flanking assassination. You also just need to wait a little bit, because this will push in. So we have time. Victor also has TP. So all we need to do is ensure we have that vision and not go into this sort of scenario. You know what I mean? Now, because we did that, it's a small GG event, I think. Let's have a look. Okay. Just give the Elder, I mean, I know it's doomed, but you kind of have to just give it, right? Because if you die, then you lose the game. Top end hit will do work here, though. There will probably some people to deal with it instead of just ending the game. Like, you should just end the game. You should just end the game, but the problem is that Yasuo's also like, well, I'm a split here, so she kind of has to deal with it, which does give you a small advantage. Oh! Ooh, I thought the execution was gonna happen. So, here's the Kayn. We gotta be careful now. Are we buying an elixir? Do we buy an elixir? Guys, if you're full build, always buy an elixir in the store. Huge. Even if you're not full build, if you know there's a fight that's gonna determine the winner of the game, you've got like 800 gold and you're waiting for the final completion of your itemization, just buy the elixir. Good to go. Huge. Yasuo's pushing this up. This is now pushing in a little bit. They have no wave. Nice kill by the Jhin. He took a tower shot. Obviously, the Bloodthirster shield will help us. The Serpent Spike is going to do a lot of work here, actually, I think. The one thing in his itemization pocket that I like, they over-greed for the tower. Take a tower shot. The Yasuo goes back to base. The GA is procced. Make sure we kill the Xayah, please. Kill the Xayah, kill the Xayah, kill the Xayah. There we go. We don't even get the kill, but that's fine. Can we end? Can we end? Like Baron end, obviously. We snack this. Yasuo bot side. We take that. We survive. Jhin kills the Anivia. We didn't see it, but we know it happens. He's going deep here. You with your ADC, look for the backline dive. There we go. There we go. Much better. 8 times speed, but it's fine. Did we actually win the game despite no soul? 50 minutes. 17 deaths. Wild. Absolutely wild. Yeah, there we go. So, actually win. And the Serpent's Fang in the end, 2,100 damage. It's not amazing, but the Duskblade bonus damage, 998. The utility of Prowler's Claw once again shows itself to be supreme. So there you have it. Fun game. Sometimes maybe I don't mean to be as a little bit, you know, just like the reactions, but I'm not mocking, I'm not being mean. I'm just saying how it is. Sometimes you just have to think of it this way. You have to correct the way you're viewing the game, because at the end of the day, if you want gold, that's the learning moment, right? So as long as you recognize that, you're good. Hopefully you have fun as well learning. I mean, it's important to also make fun of ourselves a little bit. I do it also. Get angry with your play sometimes and your decisions, but also have a good chuckle. Like, I won that game with 17 deaths. Wow, you know, so just enjoy that process as well. Thank you very much for watching. Virkayu, GG for your courses and your coaching. Don't worry, I don't make fun of anyone in coaching. Always positive, always improving. We just have a life together. See you all in the next coaching.